This one's for you, Dany.
Yeah, girl. I never knew that everything was falling through. That everyone I knew was waiting on a cue to turn and run when all I needed was the truth. But that's how it's gotta be. It's coming down to nothing more than apathy. I'd rather run the other way than stay and see the smoke and who's still standing when it clears. And everyone knows I'm in over my head, with 8 seconds left in overtime. She's on your mind, she's on your mind. Welcome to Two Girls, One Shelf. I'm tone deaf. And this is Paula. You're welcome. Alright guys, thanks for listening to us and our beautiful rendition of Over My Head. You know, special shout out to Brittany Ursery for playing the cup with the pencil. Hey!
Yay! Round of applause.
So diving in, this is arc number 3.
Woo!
So this is Revenge of the Forgotten by Dany Crooks. And Dany, you are mean.
Look, you guys, I know you can't see me, so you can't look into my eyes, but just listen to my voice. Read this book, okay? Like, just read it. Do yourself a favor and read it.
Dany Crooks done left me, threw me off a cliff. She made me cry. She made me laugh. She just really, so you're a mean lady, but you write some mad books.
I was going through all stages of grief at the end of this book. Honestly, I don't know how to feel because it's only been a day since I finished. Not even 24 hours, and I just feel empty inside.
I find myself thinking about this book too much. Like, that's all I think about now, and I'm just like, okay, if we don't get the arc for the second book, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna take off a week
to mourn not getting the arc.
Yes.
We are your biggest fans, Dany. But anyway, so Revenge of the Forgotten, basically overview of the book. You have a girl who can't remember anything named Vega, so she's kind of similar to me.
Squirrel.
Yeah, she's cursed to forget, but he remembers anything. And who is that he we are talking about? Oh, Bridger.
Our little tortured angel.
A tortured soul that we just want to love. But anyways, basically, her and her sister, they suck together. Sister trying to rule over the world. It's like Pinky and the Brain, you know? Marlene is the brain and Vega's Pinky. So Marlene is trying to rule over the realm and Vega's just cursed, man, going through it, trying to find her way back home. So just get ready for this wild ride. So get ready to take over the world, Pinky.
Pinky in the Brain.
Oh my gosh.
So before we get into the book, I just wanted to talk about the first couple of pages of the book. I love that when books include like a Spotify playlist because it just gives me the reading vibes.
Oh yeah, I do love that.
And when books have a map, I'm a freaking hoe for a map because
Yeah,
I just know
is.
we're going on an adventure.
She be just throwing around in that map, man.
I do. I be flipping back when I hear of like a name of a city. I'm like, ooh, where this at?
We don't know how to say it, but we gonna go.
Exactly. Let me tell y'all, the hooked on phonics is not my friend. Okay, we've talked about this before.
But I do think it's really cool that she included an interactive map on her website. So if you go to her website, she has an interactive map. You click on it, it's gonna tell you what's going on there.
I know, it's like shoo shoo shoo.
It's really, really cool. It's like, okay, what in the Lord of the Rings is this?
Also, if she made that, I'm like very impressed. Like, I'm just impressed by this girl overall.
Yeah, she's like, here's my debut novel and all my technology that goes with it. I'm like, good Lord, this is crazy. I love it.
And for being like, for being an ARC reader, she sent us like a lot of just about the characters and like things for our content. So she really made it very easy for us.
Yeah, she definitely wanted us to enjoy the book, I guess, as much as she enjoyed writing it.
I know.
Torturing us. I feel tortured. Dany Crooks is Marlena in my story right now.
Oh my god.
I'm tortured.
And you're Vega because you just be forgetting.
I'm just dumb, man. You know, but I do like the dedication in the book to those who never felt like they belong. I created a home for all of us. To me, after reading the book, I took that as, you know, I don't belong on Earth. I belong in Tel Aviv.
Oh, 100%. I am one of the bonded.
Yeah, man.
To be sure, like I'm number 5. I know you don't hear about me in the book, but I'm there.
I feel them tingling through my wrist.
I know Arlette's finding Vega. I know that.
Duh.
She coming back.
I'm trying to break a curse on Earth. They just out there fighting in a different realm. But okay, here we go. Let's get into this story.
Maybe that's why I work, to fight a curse. That's what I'm gonna start telling myself.
Yeah. You know what? You're a nurse training to heal people in Tel Aviv. That is what you were doing.
But when am I gonna go there? That's my question. When am I gonna end up in Tel Aviv?
We gotta go to California in the woods.
Look, I will hike through them woods looking for this portal. Don't tempt me.
God, man, I just be walking around it. Trying my best.
But the beginning of the book is basically we find out that Vega's sister, Marlena, is, like Tabby says, she just bad.
She a hoe.
Yeah, she a big hoe with capital H.
Yep.
Like the tool.
Yes.
The gardening tool.
Yes. PG,
Yes.
not 13.
Yes, the gardening tool.
But if you want to up your rating, you know what I mean. Viewer discretion is advised.
Only tools.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
It's like Bob the Builder.
Oh my gosh, she can't fix it.
Anyways, so we find out Marlena is just basically out here just killing a bunch of folks. She just comes out of the woodwork killing people. She kills her parents. She like beheads, I think, her mom or her dad.
It was her mom.
Like, how you gonna do that? Did
Yeah.
she just drop her head like a bowling ball?
Did not care.
No, 0 regrets. But then Bridger, Arlette, and Court and Vega are all best friends, and to defeat Marlena, they decide to summon God Ramus.
So basically, Captain Planet.
Yes.
They got their rings on. They're summoning Captain Planet.
Oh my God. Yes.
AKA Remus.
Remus, yes. But during that time, we find out that Vega and Bridger are together. You know, they're doing the googly eyes together and all the things.
They're true loving.
True loving,
Dump truck of
hardcore.
love.
But then the story flash forwards to her having a husband named Chase. I was like, what is happening? What do you mean? I literally like went back through my Kindle a couple pages. I was like, did I miss something? Did I lay my Kindle down and it just moved a couple pages forward?
Right, because they were literally in the process of summoning a god to get back at Marlena. And then, boom, she's on Earth with a husband.
Yes.
And a sad life.
Yeah, dude, she lives the saddest life, honestly.
Sad life.
And she's like coming home from work, working at this dingy diner, and then her husband cheating on her.
Yeah, that, Chase.
My biggest thing, too, is, you know, a couple days later, he's like trying to be like, oh, it was a misunderstanding. Sir, your goodies were inside of another woman. Like, how is that a misunderstanding?
Like, where's the line? Because I'm pretty sure it was crossed. It was crossed. I do love the silly little, what is it, the guy in the gas station who runs it, who's just like, yeah, I saw your puppy.
Oh my gosh. I know, he says that she like looks like a wet dog too.
Yeah, he's like a troll.
He's just a big old savage, man.
I thought that was so funny.
But then Vega wants to drink her, you know, her blues away, so she ends up going to She ends up going to a bar, and then she comes back to her chair and she sees this mysterious woman, which is Arlette, which honestly I love her. She is honestly one of my favorite support characters in this book.
Yeah,
she's just such a badass.
Yes, and I love that her story, she had to grow to become that. It wasn't like she was just born like, yeah, I'm just walking around kicking people and winning. Yeah. She's like, she started from the bottom, now she's here. You know, she
started with nothing, now she out here summoning, you know, she can like basically project, make you see different things like in your projection. My crazy thing is when she did that with the dragon.
Yes, toward the end of the book, she just like, boom, she just like poofed a dragon. She's like a projector.
Oh,
just like straight up projector.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, she's just poofing dragons and just whatever. Concealing things, hiding things. Like, she's just a sneaky little ma'am.
Sneaky little snake.
But I do like in the bar, like, she's just like, yeah, we're friends. Let me tell you about yourself. Like,
but also tells her that she's mean in this life.
yes.
I was like, what do you mean in this life? But we find out that Vega has had apparently multiple lives, and Arlette has, the last time she saw her was basically 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so far, Vega has had a total of 20 lives.
Like, she's died 20 times.
Like, how wild is that to just be, like, coming back? Just like, poof!
There I am. Poof! There I am. But just in a whole different life. You know, like a whole different story every time.
Yeah.
So each version of her is a different, like, it could be scared and timid, it could be battled and bruised, or it could be this one mean.
Yeah, which is crazy to me that every time that she comes back, it's basically she's a whole different person, just a whole different personality.
Yeah, her life is still shapes her to who she turns out to be.
And Marlena, just like the biggest butthead that she is, just every time that she, basically her curse includes her having the worst life possible.
Yep.
So every single time she always ends up in these awful places and is always alone.
It's so sad, man. So she's just cursed to just be sad on Earth, which, I mean, I feel that sometimes.
Would you believe Arlette if she came up to you, like if you were in Vegas shoes and Arlette told you all of these, you were from this magical place and all of these things, that you were this powerful person? Would you believe her?
I would literally stand up and be like, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. Literally my whole life. Let's go.
Honestly, with how crappy Vegas life is, I would just been like, all I got is $5. How we getting there?
Yeah, just like, please take me. You know what? Just tell me where to go. Let's go. I'll follow you into the dark.
Yeah, I wouldn't care. I would be gone.
Yeah, just
me and Arlette would just be floating off into the wind, into the sunset.
I don't even care if she has a big white van outside. I'm hopping in. This is my chance.
Exactly. And like Chase is calling her like, no, homie, don't be calling me. I'm going to Touvlier.
Yeah, Touvlier. Touvlier.
You're not making it sound French.
It's a whole different realm. It's not France.
That's probably the only realm that will accept me, okay? That's probably the only realm that'll accept me, okay? That's all I got.
Toudelier. Or whatever you say.
Well, we find out more about Bridger, too. And he's just this poor little tortured baby.
Yeah.
But he got captured by Marlena multiple times, had to kill Vega multiple times, and basically, you know, we find out at the beginning that they're just bonded to each other and they love each other, but throughout the book, I remember when we find out that he's the commander of Marlena's army, I was like, WTF, what do you mean?
Yeah, I was so mad.
Why is he not with Arlette?
Yeah, I was just mad. Like, I was just like, man, she's writing me to hate you, but I love you. I know I'm supposed to not like you, but
I love Morley Gray men. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, we're gonna end up together in the end. We better. Dany Crooks. I swear.
Look, we're putting this out in the universe, Dany. Don't do this to us.
I swear to whoever Remus is. Don't be doing that.
Remember, I'm the bonded five, okay?
Yeah. Don't be doing that to her, man. I'll be passing out. But I do like how Arlette ends up breaking into her house the next day, just making her breakfast after this whole incident. Like, yeah, we're gonna be friends. And she's like, how did you get in my house?
Like, I know I just dropped all of this, like, make-believe knowledge on you, but hey.
Yeah, she starts going into the government, the world, who she is, and then Vega's just like, well, I gotta figure it out. What am I gonna do? I guess I'm gonna follow you to the wilderness.
And I just think it's funny, like, on their car ride there, how they are basically just acting like two teenage girls. They're, you know, picking out on junk food from the gas station. Doritos, like Hot Pockets. They're just picking out, and then they're just singing songs. Like, got their tunes, and they're just hanging out.
Got the Over My Head playing by the Fray.
Yeah, but
our version.
Yes. Yes.
Our version's gonna end up in the movie.
The cover of a lifetime.
That was for you only, Dany Crooks. I'll never sing it again for anybody else.
But I just feel bad for Bridger, too.
I do, too.
You know, because it's just like, Marlena forced him to be this person that he is, right?
Yeah, so he did it essentially to protect the people. He's like, if I'm commander over this army, which is essentially what Marlena wants, she'll stop destroying people. But along the way, he's kind of lost a little bit of sight of what he's actually doing. Because he did it, in a sense, to protect Vega and protect the people. Because every time he's had to kill her, it's been to save somebody. Like, she's just like, kill me so they don't have to die.
Exactly, because I think it had to do with Court's mom.
Yes.
And then also Mayor, too. But I think with the Mayor situation is that Bridger actually chose Mayor over her.
Yeah. It's so sad.
But also, and what also kind of broke my heart too was when Mayer admitted to him that your parents were actually going to let you be with Vega, and I was going to be the commander of the army, but Marlena wouldn't let me.
Right. I am so conflicted on him as a character, because I think in my heart of hearts, how I feel like he is just really his best friend. Like, and he wants what's best for him. But also, on the other hand, I don't know if, hey, he was supposed to be commander. Mm-hmm. So is there
some jealousy there?
Yeah, is he actually being the friend and just being like, hey, you make your choice. Do you want to be with Vega or Marlena? And I'll support you, whatever. But just know we'll be on different sides because I choose Marlena.
You know what one of my theories are?
What?
I think that Mayer and Arlette are going to end up together.
What?
Mm-hmm. Because in a lot of the scenes that I read with them is that he was always attacking her. Every time that he came into this, every time he came into the picture, he was pulling Arlette's hair, or when they were on the last battle, he went after Arlette too.
Interesting.
I think they're gonna end up together.
He just wants to pick on her on the playground because he likes her.
He's like, "Hey, girl, you didn't have no powers before, so I couldn't fight you, but now I can because that's my love language."
Yeah, let me pull your hair because I like you. What the heck? That's crazy.
I know. For some reason, I just have a feeling they're going to end up together. It might honestly be nothing, but that's throughout the story. I was like, I bet they would end up together. Oh,
I would like that if he doesn't turn out to be a jerk.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Like you said, I have mixed feelings about him because sometimes he'll be like this super nice guy, and then sometimes he's just out here burning forces.
Yeah, it's really hard because he comes in and how he talks to Bridger, he's talking to him as like a genuine friend.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like misled in the fact of their friendship, but at the same time, jealousy is a real thing, and it can take a wrong decision to like uproot a whole thing. So I'm conflicted on him.
Well, and then how would you feel, being Bridger, and that every single life that you see Vega in is this completely different person? Because he talks about her being the shell of the person that she used to be.
I think that's part of like what desensitized him to her in general. Mm-hmm. Like that's part of, Marlena planting seeds and stuff like that. But she comes back different. I mean, of course she gets her memories and stuff back, so she knows who she is. But I feel like even if she was in a timid lifestyle, it would take her a while to come out of that timid lifestyle. So I feel like as Bridger, he's just like, well, I'm losing the person I love over and over again. What's the point of continuing to hurt myself over it?
Yeah.
I mean, she's not even who she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I feel like I sympathize with him because of it. If Brent was just out here dying all the time, I don't know what I would do. Like, it's just like after a while, you just become numb to it.
For sure.
And I feel like that's him too. And then the fact that they think this curse is running out throughout most of the book, it's just like, oh, okay, well, eventually I won't have to deal with this anymore. I might as well try to shove all that down. The past is in the past, It's like a bad breakup. You just got to get over it.
You know what the wildest Bridger and Vega moment is for me?
What?
Is when it's a flashback, and it's
I know which one you're going to say.
It's the night after he...
I know what you say.
It's the night after her family died, and I think Court and Arlette go to sleep.
Yep.
And they decide, they're on watch together, and they get a little spicy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, homegirl, like, your family just died 30 hours ago, and you just over here like, yeah, now's my time to get banged.
I gotta get it when I can, I guess. It could be my last
chill.
time.
Well, and then what was also funny to me, too, is that was one of the scenes that, one of the first times I think Meyer shows up.
Yeah.
And then she's out here trying to fight him shirtless. Like, she has no shirt on. And she's just over here just fighting with
boobs a-blazing. Boobs a-blazing.
Boobies just out here just windmilling.
Boobies and blades. They just slinging around. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
What was one of your favorite moments?
Your moment that you described was probably like one of my favorite moments too, because I just thought it was really funny. But I think my favorite moment in the book period is when Bridger's having a conversation with Marlena's cousin Yvel, and she's trying to come on to him to kind of distract him from all the dreams he's having. And then Bridger, being the sly dog he's just sitting there like, he comes in close and whispers her in the ear. He's like, "You want a first class ride in the darkness?"
Yes.
And she's just like, "Oh, goodness, yes, that's what I've been wanting." He's like, "Well, go bump yourself, Yvel." And I highlighted it. I highlighted it in my Kindle. I was cackling out loud. I was just like, that's my man.
No, he put that thirsty hoe in the closet.
I just love how he teased her. He literally... Man, but that was probably my favorite, like, I guess, book moment. Like, just between them. He's like, go bump yours. I'm like, you know what? You keep fighting for my girl. You keep fighting for my girl. But I do think it's crazy, you know. Vega ends up deciding to follow Arlet to this portal to a whole nother world. And she's like, oh, crap, it's real. And then Bridger busts through, ready to mollywop her. Like, and then he knocks her out, and Arlet's over there like Ninja Warrior in the trees.
I know, like, at the beginning, Bridger was just such a butthead between, like, their first meeting, but he gets so much character growth from how he, you know, lets her go.
Yeah.
Not only then, but also whenever she's, like, trying to pee when she's being transported.
And then he lets her go.
Yes, he actually lets her go and freaking stabs himself.
Yeah.
To show that to his army.
But then he just pushes her off a cliff. And he tries to make it look like she just jumped.
Well, and honestly, what's wild to me, too, is, you know, during all this, they're trying to escape. So, he lets her go, and then he chases her into the forest and is basically saying, oh, I'm just going to help you escape 100%
because she's weak, yeah.
Yes, because she's weak and stuff. And then, you know, Mayor is freaking throwing the...
Smoke?
He's
fire.
like... Yeah, he's like lighting the forest on fire. During the scene, I'm just like, Smokey the Bear would be so disappointed in him.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only thing I can think about is Smokey the Bear and his forest fires.
Wildfires.
That's all I could think about during this.
Gosh.
But then, yeah, he just basically just yeets her off the freaking cliff.
Yeah, I did love, though, how he was counting down, because he's like, okay, she probably has 60 seconds until she drowns. So he's sitting there counting down, having a discussion with Mayor, like, okay, I've got to save her, I've got to end this discussion. And then he kind of info dumps that you find out Vega and the Bonded Four are gods, because Remus kind of gave them that gift to kind of save them.
Which is wild to me. I did not guess that at all.
No, I had no idea that was coming. So you find out Marlena also a god. The Bonded Four are gods. And that's why Marlena can't really do anything to them because they can't die. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but Vega, her curse, when she dies, she just resets. She can't die technically, but she just resets. So... Bridger is just like spinning some bullcrap, like if she dies, I die. You know, Mayor trying to just kind of be like, I gotta save her. You know, and he's like, so you've made your choice between Marlena and Vega, and he's like, no. But then he jumps off the cliff.
Exactly, like homie, you made a choice. You just don't want to say it out loud. You made a choice in your heart,
right? Everybody just be cliff diving around here, like everybody jumping off a cliff. It's just crazy.
Well, then Bridger actually, you know, gets her in the water. Like you said, he jumps in the water, saves her, all that good mess. Well, then she comes back too. She asks him why. And this line, I was like, ooh, this is such a good one. Like, I totally thought that this is where they're going to rekindle, right?
Right.
Wrong. But Bridger basically says, I have made a lot of mistakes in my life, but none of them have ever been you. And she just freaking, her lips just throw her body, her lips, her soul into this man. And they're just making out. They're doing all the things. And I think I wrote a line on here and she says, Bridger licked at her bottom lip, begging for entrance. And as big as a mistake as Vega knew it was, she let him in. I was like, dang right, she did! I was yelling at my Kindle. Like, yeah, finally! I was like, yes! But then homegirl stabs him in the heart.
Yeah, like, and then in her head, she's like, yeah, I gotta test a theory to see if he really gonna die or not.
Yeah, and, you know, as he's, like, passing out, she's like, I would have loved you until my last breath.
Yeah, which was heartbreaking.
Yes, which was heartbreaking, but honestly, at that point, I think she was just so over him and all of, like, his betrayal and things like that, but I still could not believe that she stabbed him. I was not expecting that scene at all. This whole book is just...
unexpected after unexpected.
I was just literally just thrown for a loop this whole time. I just felt like I was a load of laundry. And I was just being just boom, 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 just beat up in the washing machine.
It's just crazy, though, because, like, I understand her anger, but I feel like her anger is just so misdirected.
I do, too.
Because she's taking it out on Bridger, but so at this point, you know, she was tortured by Marlena after coming through the portal, and they ended up catching her, and Marlena ended up showing her the mirrors, and the mirrors basically, I guess, hold on to the curse, is from what I understand, or part of the curse.
Yeah, so basically Marlena Marlena can curse inanimate objects, and each of the mirrors show Vega's life and all of her, hold her life and her memories.
So it's almost like a Horcrux in a way, but it's not.
Which I did really like the mirror aspect of the book. I thought that was a really cool touch.
Yeah, so she basically gives Vega her memories back because she's trying to find out, okay, how did Remus curse the other gods? Because she's trying to undo it basically so she could end the Bonded Four. But Vega really don't know, which is great. But she painfully does that, so she's remembering all these things, and I'm thinking, okay, so after you know all this stuff, you now know all the lives you've lived, like you remember everything. Wouldn't you be more sympathetic towards Bridger? I mean, I understand he's killed you, but like after everything that y'all been through, you know he's had to kill you because you're too busy saving people. Like, yes, he's choosing the wrong side, but like he even made a comment in the book about how he just wanted to save people. You know, it's kind of like Vega.
Yeah, and I feel that Vega never really acknowledged his feelings. You know, it was just, oh, he betrayed me. Oh, he did this, he did that. But she never said in her own words that he was tortured. She was tortured by Marlena in multiple lives, right?
Yeah.
In multiple lives she was tortured by him. But Bridger was tortured by Marlena for 2 years consistently.
Yes, and even the whole time, because even she's been gone. Let's say she's been gone for 15 years, and he's had to do this for 15 years while she's off living on Earth. Like, she's just going through whatever. But she didn't take a second to be like, dang, what has Bridger gone through? Yes, Arlette and Court have been ride or dies, but I feel in a sense you should be like, okay, I mean, they're not human, but you know, there's always room for error if she knows that he was tortured by her.
Have a little sympathy.
Yeah, especially when she was so close to break-in after what, a day?
Exactly.
And you're sitting here 2 years he was tortured and you were about to
Every
cave
single day.
after a day.
Yeah.
And you're gonna sit here and be like, Bridger, you suck.
Yeah, I think she doesn't give him enough grace.
Yeah, I think so too, which I hate. So, I mean, it was like, yes, they were kindling, she's forgiving him or whatever, or they're gonna work through, and then she stabs him, and I'm like,
well, and it's just, there's so many moments where in this book where I'm just like, oh, Bridger's so annoying. Oh, but I love him. Oh, he's so annoying. But oh, I love him. Especially, I think I really like the parts where he's so proud of Arlette and how far she's come in her powers. Because he never told Marlena that of Arlette's powers. He always kept that a secret. And I feel like that right there just shows that he does have, you know, some good inside of him. But every single time there was a scene of Arlette fighting or her showing her powers or anything, he always talked about just this like warm feeling in his chest and how he was just beaming with pride from her.
Yeah, so you know, I mean, granted, Bridger should use his words better too, but also
he's a man.
But he also has to put up a front in front of Marlena. If he's sitting here like showing any sympathy toward Arlette or Court, Marlena's going to come after them and torture them too. So
for sure.
I feel super bad for Bridger. I love him, and I think she shouldn't have stabbed him. Why test the theory on him? Test it on yourself. You know you're going to be reincarnated. Chill.
Exactly. Like, calm down.
Also, speaking of some kissing,
girl,
I about hollered when Vega in her thirst trap self came after Court.
She is so, that is one thing in this book. Homegirl is so thirsty in this book. Every single man she comes into contact with, she talks about their looks. Every single time.
Yes.
Every single time she talks about how this man's attractive. Which honestly, I'm jealous. Like, because if all these men are good looking like that and you just hanging out with them, I'm upset too. But homegirl is thirsty.
And I'm telling you, okay, look. If I had a choice between a man who could turn into a dragon and a person who could keep me quiet, excuse me, I'm choosing the dragon. I have been quiet for too long. Too long. When I could be riding a dragon. Riding a dragon.
With a capital R.
Yeah, I don't need to be silent. I'm fire breathing, baby. Like, I don't need to be quiet. Like, we take it to the skies.
Speaking of him going to the skies, I think one of my favorite Vega and Court moments, even though she's out here being thirsty, is when they go to the land, they go above water, and Court is going to basically shift into a dragon, which she has seen him do it before, but this is prior to her getting her memories back. And so, they're drunk off wine, and he starts taking his shirt off, and she's drooling all over him, and he takes off his shirt and says, oh, it's not shifting material, and she says, and the paint pants. I cackled when she said that. And he says, they're shifting material, but he can take them off if she wants. Girl, I was like, dang, man.
Yeah, I was blushing at my book. I was like, I'm turning red right now. We shifted, man. We shifted.
I know. But honestly, the author is so good at her descriptive words, because when he was shifting, I felt as if I was Vega.
Yeah.
That's standing in front of court shifting.
Yeah, I saw a dragon shift.
Oh, 100%. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was the wine I was drinking when I was drinking, because I was drunk too with Vega and Court. I was just inserting myself.
Well, I mean, you are one of the bonded.
Yes,
you probably felt it
I am the bonded, okay?
I am Remus. I felt it.
But at the same time, I also feel so bad for little baby Court too. It's just, you know, like whenever they had their kissing scene, right? Mm-hmm. He was, as much as he wanted Vega, he was such a gentleman and was basically, you know, he stopped them or whatever, because homegirl was grinding up on that man.
Yeah, like she
was climbing that pole.
Yeah, the dragon was being rode like
without a saddle.
Yeah, no saddle.
No saddle.
And shifting
we were
pants
raw dogging.
Shifting pants on me.
But at the same time, like, this man has just been in love with her for years, you know?
And this was his chance, and he denied it.
Exactly. But also, whenever, you know, they're going to the land, they're going to the top of the world, and this girl comes out of nowhere and kisses him. I was like, whoa now. Where'd this homegirl come from?
You see, I just pictured, so it's essentially his girlfriend, not girlfriend.
Yes.
Is, I guess, how it's worded. They're a thing, but they're not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just picture, because he, like, snuck her into her room really quickly when she started trying to give him the business.
Uh-huh.
I just picture his girlfriend standing in the corner of Vega's room just watching them, because she can be invisible. I just picture her being creepy, and I feel like after that, that's probably why it was just like, maybe that's why she was asserting her dominance. Maybe she was in the corner. That girl, kiss my man.
You're right. You might be right.
Because even Arla said, you know, she's not usually that forward.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right.
I wonder.
And I think later on in the book, too, she also comes and says something to him, too. Mm-hmm. Being kind of, you know, as if relationship-y.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she saw him trying to do business. And I think Court used his dragon senses to stop it. Maybe.
Oh my god! So he wasn't being a gentleman. He just knew he was being watched.
Yeah, he's just like, dang, my girlfriend's in the corner. We gotta cut this out. Gosh, give me my pants.
But, you know, he basically tells Vega multiple times that he's just in love with her and will do anything for her and will always fight for her. But I think one of the lines that Vega says is, you know, have you ever tried to fight for yourself? In that moment, I was like, man, kick a man when he's down, but also for real.
Yeah, she's like, fight for yourself. Now come over here, dragon boy.
I know, give me them lips and a little claw.
Yeah. Give me a little scratch.
A little claw.
I do. And I do hate kind of how Vega toys with Court a little bit throughout the book, which I understand, like, I probably would maybe have done the same thing because, you know, you're just so unsure, and now, like, she's unsure about Bridger and everything, because even toward the end of the book, she mentions a possibility of them maybe trying.
Well, that, and you say, because she mentions that she just can't be in a relationship right now, but I'm also not saying never.
Yeah, so it's like she's toying with him a little bit in my head.
But then, again, too, and she also tells him later on at Christmas how his mom told her that, oh, I would have loved to see you guys together.
Yes.
And then she's like, you know, pulling him in closer for a dance, and then she's like contemplating in her head, why didn't I ever choose Court and things like that, and just, you know, and like you said, I understand she's got a lot of things being conflicted as far as, you know, Bridger and just getting all her memories back at once. I understand that, but this man lost his mom.
Yep.
He doesn't have you. He lost his sister, and you're over here toying with his feelings.
Yeah.
But then I think I did like how the author gave us the reason why she didn't choose him.
Because Court is just so protective and won't kind of let her do her own thing or make her own decisions. Mm-hmm. But Bridger would always just let her run into the wilderness, guns a-blazing.
But at the same time, I can understand that, not wanting to be told what to do and having someone protect you all the time, but I don't feel like his protection was misplaced.
Overbearing or anything. Yeah, it wasn't like it was Daenerys, you know? Mm-hmm. He was just like, I don't think it's a good idea. He never said, no, you can't. He said, I don't support it.
Yes, exactly.
So, I don't know. I do love Court. I think he's a stand-up dragon. I would love him, but it's fine.
I know. And this book, too, I feel like she does, like, a lot of world building. There's, like, a whole government system.
Yes. I do like the way that Arlet kind of just sums it up in a nutshell really quick in the
like,
beginning.
one sentence.
Yeah, so the Curia is what Marlena overthrew, which is Telever's form of government. There were 12 seats all held by the 12 original bloodlines, and basically her parents held seats in the Curia. So her mom held a seat and her dad held a seat, and originally the plan was for Marlena to overtake both the seats, while Vega's just the one who gets married off into the sunset. Mm-hmm. You also find out that Marlena's kind of been tortured by her parents in a way, but we don't really know specifics on it. I don't think they really ever gave, like, Marlena was just like, you don't know what I've been through, you don't know the abuse. Like,
I think she did one example where she said that she was locked away in a room for 6 days.
Yes.
And didn't have any food or anything like that, and just basically and also I think there was a scene, too, where Vega and Arlette were gonna go to a festival.
Yeah, and she couldn't go.
Yeah.
Because that's not what leaders do. Mm-hmm. So I have sympathy for Marlena, too. A little. I mean, minuscule.
Just a little sprinkle.
Because I feel like if her parents would have treated her like a normal person, like, yes, you can be a leader, but at the same time, you would want your child to experience things before taking on that seat. Like, I mean, her parents, I'm pretty sure, weren't tortured before they took their seats, you know?
Well, and also, these people live for, like, hundreds of years, right? So,
right.
And it's not just 100 years. I think that the old man in the library, he was, like, 450 years old.
He was old.
Yeah,
old man.
And Nero, I think that was his name.
I don't know.
It was like Colette's grandfather.
Yeah, he was a prefectus.
Yes.
Nero does sound right, though.
But, he was like, I think around 450 years old.
He's an old man.
So it's kind of like, just let her live her life, She didn't have to gain those seats or anything so quickly.
But I wonder if the reason why her parents, I bet it was mostly her mom versus her dad, but I bet her mom was pushing so hard because it says her mom retired from her seat early.
You're right.
So I wonder if her mom was sick of doing that job and just wanted out of it to, like, being selfish. Mm-hmm. And I mean, granted, I don't know because it wasn't said, but that's something that I think maybe could have happened, especially if we're talking about, her parents putting her through the business. I wonder if her dad was really a part of that, because from what it seems like, the way Vega describes her parents, she doesn't really describe her mom very much, but she seems to have more admiration for her dad during the book. Because, I mean, that death seems to be the one that shook her the most.
Well, and I think, too, it would have been different because, Marlena says, she was tortured by her parents. But then I think she also had to sit through a meeting where they talked about whether or not Vega should be the next ruler over Marlena, because Vega is actually more powerful than Marlena.
Yeah.
So it's just, on top of being tortured, there's also that jealousy aspect, too.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, you're telling me the one upper thing I had over my sister you're trying to take away from me. Mm-hmm. I couldn't imagine being Marlena, but at the same time, I wouldn't go on a killing rampage the way that she did. I wouldn't want to try to rule it all, because then what happens at the end of the day when you have everything?
Well, I mean, look at her now. She got the powers from all of the 12 gods.
Yes.
And still, she's still trying to fight against this bonded pair that's supposed to be less powerful than her.
Yeah, so she's just not going to win at the end of the day. It's almost like she cursed herself.
Yeah. So you're really good at guessing. Did you guess about anything in the book? Anything that was going to happen? Because you're usually really good at guessing some portions of books or even just endings.
So, I didn't know Dany Crooks was going to do that to me at the end of the book. No. No. I feel like she stabbed me in the heart. I feel like that's what happened there. But I don't know. I feel like Bridger and her are going to reconnect. Dany Crooks, please do not take that away from me. Please. I mean, I know you still have time to write that down, but please do not take that ending away from me, because I can't handle that. I would never recover from the series.
Honestly, the way that this book ends, I'm going to talk about the ending in a little bit, because the ending we'll talk about the last fight and stuff like that, because the ending for me was just wild.
I couldn't breathe.
But is there any portion of the book that you guessed at all?
I feel like no. I mean, not that I was trying to, I'm trying to do a better job at not trying to be predictable with books, because I'm really bad at that. Like, I'm really bad at being like, okay, this is going to be the end. And it turns out to be the end. But there was a lot of, like, she threw me on a ride. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of stuff I didn't expect. Like, I did expect Bridger to help her. I knew that was going to come. Like, Bridger and her just seem inevitable, like, with the bond and stuff. But Meyer being the stand-up friend that he's being, unexpected. Yeah, I thought he was going to be the troll under the bridge.
I did not think that he was going to agree to help Vega on Earth.
Yes,
he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he followed her into the tree line, while Vega's trying to get these books so she can discover how to break the curse and everything. And there was just a lot that I did not think that she was going to come in lips ablazing on court.
No.
There was just so much I did not think was going to happen. And it happened, and I was blissfully unaware this whole entire book.
And I didn't think that Vega was going to be such a savage either.
Yeah.
Especially because there are a lot of moments where she's really mean to Bridger.
Yeah.
I think one of the moments that comes to mind for me is when he asked her why she didn't tell him about them being gods since she knew. And she basically tells him that, I honestly never really trusted you 100%.
I hated that.
I did too, because Homeboy was struggling after that. He was going through it.
But I hate that she said that, because then it just makes her look like the bad guy, because she said, I never trusted you because basically I knew Marlena was going to get to you.
Yes.
And I'm just like, so you knew that he was going to get dragged into the business and be tortured and become this way, and you hate him for it? That's not fair, because honestly, I think Vega, if flipped positions, she would do the same freaking thing.
Yeah.
So it made me mad, because she's always talking about, oh, let's save the people. Oh, you're a person who kills the people. But I guarantee you, he has saved way more lives than he has killed. I mean, yeah, he went and blew someone's hand off. Yeah, he went and crushed somebody's head and just exploded somebody in front of everybody. Yeah, he did those things in an angry fit. But I feel like overall, the period of that, 55 years?
Yeah.
He probably did way more good than he did bad.
Yeah, his main goal at the end of the day was to protect his people.
Yeah.
And I think her saying that put him in extra turmoil, because he also mentioned that he always felt like an outsider, especially during the rebellion, that he felt like nobody really trusted him, because he was always they always thought that he was going to become that person, that commander.
Yeah.
That Marlena and his parents, that path that they set him on.
I just don't understand why that wasn't a strategy, though, for them from the beginning. Okay, Bridger, you take over the army, still work with us. Like, yeah. I don't, like, if they knew that was an inevitable thing that was probably going to happen, we can't trust you anyways, why not work together?
Exactly.
Like, then we could have skipped the whole torture of Bridger for whatever, but everybody just wants to be their own hero in their own way, but no one cares about Bridger. I just can't stand it. So when she made that comment, I literally wanted to slap her. I wanted to just take her and just place a hand on her face. I was so mad. I was like, how dare you say that to that precious angel?
Right?
Like, how dare you? He has been tortured. He has had to kill you. He has been forced to kill you. You forced him to kill you.
Yes.
You begged him. You put a knife to your chest and basically pushed it into your chest. Like, don't say that to him.
Hallelujah.
Punch her in the head.
Hallelujah.
Like, I just can't. I don't know. I was upset. I'm upset with her. Just love him. Just please. Especially with him looking so fine. Like, please just love him.
Well, and there's a portion, too, that it makes me feel bad, but it also made me laugh. The way that the author, described this, because it could have just been my messed up brain thinking about this. But there is a moment after he has a flashback of the first time that he had to, of Vega dying, right?
Yeah.
And he wakes up from his nightmare, and he's, throwing up on the toilet, all that other stuff. But the way that it was described to me, because the line says, the cold toilet seat brought Bridger back to reality. See, I was thinking he was totally taking a poo on the toilet. Like, I didn't think that it was because his face or his hand had touched the toilet.
But why the cold toilet seat gonna snap you back?
Exactly.
Why is it that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, was he just like... And then I started thinking, I was like, poor freaking guy. He's just trying to take a poo and he gets a flashback back to freaking Vega dying. God, dog.
He just woke up, had to sit on the toilet, and then it's like, oh,
yes! Boom! Like, freaking guy.
Golly, no, not the poo. That's so funny.
Alright, so this ending.
I can't. Okay. I wasn't ready.
So, first off, Vega just gets so... Like, we already know she's powerful, but Homegirl makes a straight-up tornado.
A twin.
Yeah,
tornado.
Twin tornadoes. Twin-nators.
Twin-nators?
Yes. She just got twin-nators going on around here.
What in the Southern is that? Twin-nators?
But, and then during this, when she's like arguing with Bridger, and during this part too, it's like I kind of found this funny. She like flicks him off, freaking drops the twin naders on him, and then stabs him with a piece of wood, and then zaps him like just pow pow pow. Like just, I was like, man, give that man a break.
Yeah, okay, kill your sister first.
Yes, like why are you going after this man so hard?
Yeah, I was so upset because basically she was trying to get sneak out after Christmas, but which is Saturnalia, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, that's how I said it.
But it's like, it's Christmas time, so she's sneaking out. She's trying to help this poor woman get her kids to the bunker that apparently Marlena's done destroyed.
Yes.
And then Bridger shows up. And then so she's already like, man, this sucks. And then Marlena's like, peekaboo, I'm here, sister Roo.
Oh my god.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is not, I'm like, I only got like 10 pages left. What's about to happen? I was like, okay, we're going to conclude with Vega, Mollywop, and Marlena, and I can live peacefully.
Or at least, like, ending in the portal close to Earth, right?
Yeah. No, Dany Crooks did not do that.
First off, Urban dying
I was going to get to that.
broke my freaking heart.
Because he shows up, and he's like, I'm going to help you kind of thing. He's throwing tree roots up. He crushes Marlena.
Yes. Well, and my thing, too, that just, like, broke my heart is that, you know, he spent all of those years in hiding, right? He was just letting Marlena rule, like, helping her do whatever, you know, she wanted, things like that. And finally, he was standing up against her and his people, and he freaking dies. It broke my heart.
But I did like Arlette and Court. They show up ready to fight. But it does make me wonder, did Marlena just say that she sunk the bunker kind of thing? Or did she actually do it? Because we don't have proof that it happened. Because Arlette and Court were down there.
That's true.
But did they just not die because they're gods and just like swim to the surface kind of thing?
Yeah,
you know?
so what about everybody else?
But I did love Arlette's power right here. She done freaking conjures another dragon.
But also, what is like... Arlette is so powerful. I feel like in this next book that we're gonna learn so much more about her too.
Yeah,
because I just feel like her power is so different than everybody else's.
Yeah,
and it's just unending.
You see, I did get my hope up though with the dragon because I did not think it was Arlette. I thought it was Court's sister, and somehow she had survived, and they didn't know.
Stop.
Yeah, so I was just like, shut up.
No.
So I was so happy, and then the dragon disappeared, and I said, excuse me. That's not Court's sister.
That just breaks my heart again.
Yeah, imagine how I felt finding out it was just a vision.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh my god, they found Court's sister. She didn't die in the chaos. She's alive.
Oh my heart is breaking again.
And it was Arlette. And I was just like, well, good for you, Arlette. Sad for Court.
Oh my god.
So I literally was thinking that the whole... I did not even, like, suspect it being Arlette. So I was, like, grieving all over again for Court. But I did love how, like, they're all fighting. You know, Meyer's fighting Arlette, like you talked about earlier. Court just randomly disappears. But then as Marlena's getting crushed or whatever and coming back after she kills Urban, Court, his big dragon daddy done comes and lands and he drops a body.
A freaking power move. I was like, when I read that line, I was like, heck yes!
Yes.
And he's like, this is for
Delory.
I was like, yes!
So he just drops Yvelle's dead body in front of Marlena and is like, that's for Delory.
Yeah, you know those
Flap,
like
flap.
foam fingers? That's how I wish I had one of those
Yeah.
in that moment because I was like, yes!
Number one fan.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, dang, she's dead good. She went and bumped herself. Like
she took a midnight ride with a
Darkness
express train on the darkness.
She took a ride with darkness, but it was Court. But I thought that was so crazy. But then, you know, you see in this part, Vega's looking at Meyer because they had that that agreement for him to save, like, you know, him trying to kill her, but not kill her. And he's like, I'm not doing that in front of people because he doesn't want Marlena to know. Which I understand that.
I get it, but I was so annoyed because I was like, man, you're finally having your redemption arc.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Like.
I do think, though, Vega selfishly did that because he's like, dude, I'll help you. Like, he was willing to help her, but he's not willing to compromise his spot.
Yeah.
You know? So he's doing this for Bridger. So I I understand why he did it.
Yes, but still.
It was annoying, though. It's just like, dude, okay, we'll figure out something like throw a dagger specifically. Like, obviously, these people been living for a long time. You ain't got accuracy by now.
Exactly.
But then she ends up taking the blade over her heart, shoots electricity through her body as she stabs, like, just a smidge away above her heart. Like, so she's trying to do the whole thing where she fakes out actually dying. So she puts the knife above her heart so she doesn't technically die, and shoots electricity through it to zap it to where she dies for only, like, a certain amount of time. Because she thinks that's what's going to break the curse, is her dying, or tricking the curse into thinking she died. But she doesn't really die. But then this last part. This is literally like the last sentence of the book, man. You just see like the world going black and Bridger's voice begging her to come back.
Girl, let me tell you, because you finished the book before me, okay? And I could tell that you were not well, okay? You were not well and you need somebody to talk to. But I still had about an hour left of the book. So I finished the book, okay? I was in a cocoon on the couch. I had my hoodie on. I was looking nappy. I was looking nappy. I called you. You didn't answer. Okay?
I fell asleep, man.
I needed somebody in that moment, okay? Because I was not okay. I literally rolled off the couch because David was getting out of the shower at that moment. I rolled off the couch and met him in the hallway, and he said that I looked like a crackhead. Like, I just looked like a freaking gremlin coming out from under the bridge, and I was like, David, I'm not okay. Like, the book ended, and I'm not okay. Especially because the way that I had my Kindle set up, it was saying that I still had 4 minutes left in the book. So when I read that last line, I hit next and I saw the word acknowledgements, and I was like, what do you mean acknowledgements? Like, is there's nothing else? There's not a eulogy? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean this is it?
Isn't a eulogy something that they read at a funeral?
I thought that was
an epilogue.
Epilogue. Yes. As you can tell, I'm still not well. I'm not okay.
You know you're going to be reading her death newspaper letter.
Something, man. I just needed something else.
I was literally like, please, someone help me, Paula, because you didn't answer the first time I called you. I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. I was like, I just want to cry and tell you about it, but you haven't gotten there yet. But I'm thinking court sister's alive. I'm thinking all this stuff is happening, and then Bridger's like begging for her to come back, and that's the last thing she sees. And I swear, if she starts this next book with her in another life on Earth, I'm literally going to punch something.
So I thought about that. That was like one of the theories that I wrote down, was just like, what if she wakes up and is next to Chase? And it was like a dream. No. And it was, because you know how she has the flashbacks of her dreams?
What if that was one of her lives?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm passing away.
Girl, I got goosebumps thinking about it again.
Stop!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
Dany Crooks, don't do it. You better have her wake up in Bridger's arms, I swear. I swear she better wake up in the arms of an angel.
I know I just wrecked your life right there.
Oh my gosh.
That's one of the theories that I wrote down.
That she's having dreams of that, because that was a past life. Oh, Paula, that's dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just... Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I cannot wait for this next book. Dany Crooks, call me.
Yes.
Call me now. Please don't do that. Don't. And Court Sister better be alive. I'm sick of this. My face is turning red.
Yeah, girl. I don't know what made me think about it, but when I was thinking about it, I was like, what do I think this next book would like be? How would it begin? And it made me think of her waking up in bed with Chase, and it just being a dream of a previous life.
I would close
literally feel my arm.
I got goosebumps. I would close the book and write a strong letter. And then I would write my own book. I'd be so mad.
Tabby's Revenge of the Forgotten.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Marlena. Be like, that is not okay, Dany Crooks. Don't do that. They better have a happily ever after. Oh, Paula, I can't believe you told me
girl,
that.
I know. I can't believe I thought of that.
No.
Well, guys.
No.
That is the end of the Revenge of the Forgotten by Dany Crooks.
I need to be forgetting what you just told me right now.
Not only did Dany wreck Tabby's life, but so did I.
Everybody's hurting me right now. Like, and I don't come back to life. I just hurt for the whole life.
So if you had to rate this book, what would you rate it?
11-7. Like, this book is so good. It was a 10 out of 10. It was 20 out of 50 million lives. What do you mean? It just goes on and on forever, and I love it so much.
Same. So we talked about this before. We cannot believe that this is a debut book by Dany, because it is so, the storyline, the plot twist, just everything is like written so well that it's wild to think that this is a debut book for her.
I just don't think I can talk anymore after you told me that.
Tabby's malfunctioning right now, so we might have to end the podcast. She's not well. She's not okay. She's got a pillow over her head. She's kind of rocking a little bit.
Dany Crooks, no! Don't listen to Don't listen to this podcast. Turn it off. Don't listen to her. That's not the ending.
Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the book as much as we did. And if you didn't read it before listening to this podcast, go read it. Now. Because you need to be in this turmoil with us.
I need someone to suffer with me. Take this ride into darkness with me.
All right, guys, so catch us on our next episode of The Red Woman and the White Bear by Fern Ellis, and that's going to wrap up our arcs for September.
Thank goodness, but it's been awesome.
Yes, no, we've talked about this before, we are so happy that we've been able to read all these arcs, but we did not expect to get chosen for all of them, and as much as we're loving it, we're also just drowning.
Yeah, but you know what, Dany Crooks, I'll read any book you send me. Any book you send me. I don't care if it's 8 books at one time for the specific characters, if you know what I'm saying.
All right, man, you're looking real crackhead right now.
I'm feeling crackheady, man. I need the books now.
All right, guys, well, we'll catch you next time. Stay spicy.
Yeah, bye-bye.